Wasting all this
battleship.
hashtag content. Okay.
Right.
Start
exactly.
the music in 5.
Welcome, everyone. After that epic 20th episode last week, we're back for episode, can you guess, 21. And in honor of that, the title is Split Me, Dealerman, which, if you don't get that reference, I can't help you. With us, as always, at least always in the more recent sense, so not always, we have Doc and Junkblade. Coming at you strong, fast. Keep going with that. Go with that. Good evening.
That's all I had.
How about you break down the topics for everyone?
Well, we're going to be talking about some games we played that we obviously previewed last week.
No, man, I don't.
Going to get into our main topic. Games with names of varying qualities. Then finish up with some SGDQ recommendations, which I'm sure everyone in the cast will have, because I'm sure everyone was watching it. Right, guys?
Sure.
It was one of my favorite Squidcas ever.
Excellent, excellent. Alright, but I think we're going to start with Junkblades talking about some Darkest Dungeon once again.
Darkest Dungeon has been going well, for the most part. Thomas and Chad have perished.
Good.
Went into a dungeon and there was a surprise mid-boss and called the Fanatic that just shows up. And he unfortunately killed my entire party.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Are there not typically mid-bosses in this?
There are, but
not that difficult.
You can usually avoid them. Like, the Collector you can't avoid, but he's super easy, and the Shambler you can avoid by just not
hang on real
him.
quick. Can we get a little less from guy in the background there?
Is it picking that up? That I've got my headset on. I don't know.
It's picking it up super hard.
I don't know what to.
I think it might be the quality of the game they're playing. That might be part of it.
I don't know how to. I really don't know how to. If I cover it, do you think that'll help?
Thomas, be quiet.
You guys just keep me posted on the.
All right, we'll do our best.
So to continue, the Fanatic is part of the Crimson Court DLC, which overall I do not think is good. It adds a lot of like screw you sort of things to the game, and with barely any benefits. In fact, I haven't encountered a single one.
That's
when you say like what benefits would you be looking for?
Like new trinkets that are useful, but every single trinket that the DLC gives you requires that your character be a vampire, which you don't want because being a vampire comes with exclusively drawbacks and no benefits.
Well, other than using the trinkets.
Other than using the trinkets, which also aren't even good enough to justify
turning your people into vampires.
No new cool abilities or anything like that?
Nope.
Classes?
There's like one new class, which I believe is the Flagellant, which is
the what?
Reasonably neat.
Flagellation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I was thinking of like, is that what the like things on the Paramecium? They move through their environment. They just made a really great hand gesture.
The flagell.
Flagella?
Yeah,
that's what I was.
Close.
That's where my mind went apparently, which is useful. So you're saying it's not the legs on a Paramecium? Is that what you're saying?
It is not the legs on a Paramecium. Okay. It is a guy who punishes himself by whipping himself.
Okay, that's probably more in line with what Valen was talking about.
See, now that's self-flagellation.
Okay,
yes.
I got you. Well, that doesn't sound useful at all.
How is that a useful class?
Bleed effects, which are always effective.
But if he's hitting himself, then...
Well, no, that's just the fluff of the character. That's not what he actually does in the game.
Not committed to the bit.
Well, he is committed to the bit because the only relaxation activity he can take while in town is the flagellation activity.
Boy,
That's an activity?
This is bumming
Yes,
me out.
it is in the church. It is the most expensive one.
Of course
Why
it is.
would that be the most expensive?
He can't do that on his own time, just anywhere?
Right.
Because meditation and prayer are way cheaper.
Yeah, but why are you
All
even
of
getting
those
charged
should be
for that?
free.
Free, right?
I could do that anywhere.
You could do all three at once.
You'd think, but alas.
Not a great
That
church charging for
that
prayer,
church is-
right? I mean, man.
I mean, to be fair, it is a
Sounds
church on top of like a nexus for Lovecraftian beings, so it probably isn't a great church.
Okay.
Wait, it's on top of a nexus for evil things?
Well, I mean, that's why you're there.
The
You want
entrance
to
to
take
the
back your
Dungeon of
homeland
Darkness.
from the horrible things that have infested it.
I guess I didn't realize that was there. I kind of assumed we would make our camp, like, not there. And
Well,
then...
you don't want to go that far away from the darkest dungeon, right? You trek all the way back.
No wonder that town sucks so much. I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, you don't want that commute to take that much out of you.
So, Evan, Chelsea, me, and two friends of mine are all Resolve level 5 for the highest ranked in the party right now.
Okay.
What about
We've
Doc?
got- I have forgotten to include Doc. I don't know what class he would be.
That's fine. Doesn't sound like it's going that well.
It's not going that well for Chad and Tommy, but otherwise it actually is going pretty well. I mean, I've got a full roster and not a single person's below Resolve level 3.
Well, throw me in next as Archer. Is there a bowman
No, there's no...
who stays at the
No.
back and doesn't put himself in danger?
Well, going into the dungeons at all is putting yourself in
Okay.
danger.
What about like a
Wait.
radio guy?
What's the archer?
Arbalest.
Like a hacker who
Oh,
kinda
right.
stays behind and tries to hack the mainframe while you guys go in and dirty
There
yourselves
are
out.
no mainframes to hack in
Oh,
this setting,
man.
sadly, Doc.
Okay. I'll keep thinking about it.
But I have cleared the first boss of the Crimson Court, which cures everyone in your roster of vampirism.
I didn't know you could just cure vampirism. I thought that was kind of a... Once you're...
Well, once you kill the Baron, who is the first boss in the Crimson Court, you can just get rid of it normally like any disease at the sanitarium, apparently. And
Well, that's
killing
not so bad.
any of the Crimson Court bosses just immediately cures your entire roster of vampirism.
Do you have the Baron's backstory?
I can bring it up. Just give me one moment.
How's my mic trick working?
It's working
We're not
really
hearing
well.
a ton, so
We can't
Oh,
hear
good.
Tom
He's
at all.
that's really good because he's saying stuff. So
I mean, you're
I look great. I know. I look
looks
great.
great
right?
and the sound is good.
You gotta make sacrifices sometimes for.
They would arrive in teeming hordes, adorned in powdered wigs and pretension, seeking to slake their thirst on wine and decency. As
I think that's
intoxication
fine.
and very
Wait, time out.
Indecency
I want
or
to.
indecency?
indecency.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say wine and decency. I think
Just
is
looking for a good conversation, you know?
sure. Okay, keep going. So they wanted to slake their thirst on wine and indecency.
As intoxication invariably took hold, innocuous frivolities would escalate to ever more disturbing diversions.
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, innocuous frivolities. Yeah, sure.
So,
But
like horseshoes or...
yeah. Keep going. What's next on me?
Orchestrating the hideous affair was a hunchbacked fiend who seemed to delight in proportion to the suffering he caused.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Why is he in charge?
He
He's got the
is
cool-
not.
He's got
He's
the cool
like
pad, right?
the third one down.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
One truly in charge is the final boss. Anyway, I could have stopped him, I suppose, but I was a slave
Did
by
somebody
own
follow us?
appetite, and restraint would have
Isn't
hindered
Commander
me.
Root one of the bots?
Hey, we'll take whatever we can get, okay? That's an even more intelligent bot. It might not be.
Sorry, keep going, Junkblade. It's just been a while since that old notifications come up.
I say, sorry.
That was the last bit about the Baron's background.
Alright, so there's a jerk, a hunchback jerk.
Yeah.
And everybody who was following along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, so we'll check back later to see maybe if his story has developed a little. Oh, wait, you killed him.
Yes.
Okay.
So no more parties.
Never mind. I guess we'll find out who the second in command is next time, and maybe he'll have an actual backstory.
The second in command is the Viscount.
Well, don't ruin it. Oh.
Wait, so... Okay, give me the bit. I want to hear the Viscount. I want to hear what his deal is.
Oh, man, we're really powering through it here. Okay.
Well, I was going to be fighting the Viscount pretty soon anyway.
Okay, never mind. The next... As soon as you've fighting him, I guess.
Okay.
Did you say fighting him?
Yeah, like fighting. You've foughten. You've
As soon as you fought him?
Yeah, I know what it is, Dave.
Fighting. I like fighting better, actually.
As soon as you, I don't know. I wasn't even really thinking about it. It just happened.
The bit I read off was just like the narration, but it does look like there is a little bit more elaboration about the Baron, if you guys would like to hear. Back when the ancestor was hosting festivities at the courtyard, there was one particular hunchbacked man who took it upon himself to set and host various performances so filled with cruelty, depravity, and debauchery that even the ancestor himself was disturbed by them.
Well, wait, why wouldn't he be disturbed by them?
Presumably...
He's a bad guy anyway?
Presumably at this point in time, the ancestor is well on his road to corruption.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because, like, in the narration, it says he was a slave to his own appetite, and restraint would have rendered him a hypocrite.
Aren't we all?
Like a cruel ringmaster at a twisted circus performance, he reveled in hosting shows that brought as much laughter, joy, and wonder to his audience as it brought pain, suffering, and humiliation to his performers. Like a tick, he fed off of the applause, adulation, and attention of the crowd, which was never in short supply. Even after the Crimson Curse transformed members of the court into bloodthirsty abominations, he still remains at the courtyard to provide entertainment for the monstrous nobility.
Boy, this guy is just the lamest.
Yeah, he just wants everyone to have a good time.
He's a party planner.
His design actually looks like a tick, so that's kind of a neat...
Wait, I'm gonna look him up then. The Baron?
Yes.
Darkest
Baron
dungeon.
of disturbing parties.
After being infected by the curse, he became a bloated aberration, a grotesque tick-like abdomen terminating in the twisted remains of his human form.
He looks pretty silly.
White Nova Valen is attempting to prevent the noise from Tommy Tom from drifting into his microphone. Because Tommy Tom's playing a dumb game, and we don't want that to infect our podcast. So
I don't want... Wow, welcome back, White Nova. It's been a while. This is actually effective in stopping the outside noise from getting in, so I'm going to keep doing it. But Dave, look up the art for the Baron in Darkest Dungeon, because I think he looks kind of silly.
I see the argument.
Going places.
I can see the argument that he looks silly, but I personally find most of the enemies in here to look kind of unsettling.
Did you guys ever watch A Bug's Life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with here. Yeah.
What is the Crimson Curse exactly?
A blood thing?
It's a persistent status effect, much like a disease.
And I mean, you said it took over this...
In a lore-ass sense.
In the lore sense, let's see.
Right now, White Nova, I know that this probably isn't that interesting, but we're really intrigued by Darkest Dungeon backstory. At least I am. I need to know more about this Baron guy, because right now he's just like a evil party planner.
Party planner. Why am I singing
There
Muppet
are-
Babies theme song?
There isn't really much fluff I can find on the Darkest Dungeon wiki for the actual curse, and the game itself doesn't go very deeply into it either.
So the thing that the expansion is named after is not fleshed out very well.
No.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to check back next time to hear about the Viscount, I think.
So solid. Yeah, I guess everything you're saying about the expansion.
And hopefully you find, like, at least one useful thing, I guess is what we're shooting for.
I mean, there's always money that's always useful to get out of dungeons, but
yeah. Probably not a new DLC money, though.
No.
Which brings us straight away to Rimworld, which is the game I was playing last week. And great game, first of all. So if you've ever played Dwarf Fortress, it's very much based on that. And both of these games are colony building games where instead of directly commanding the actions of your colonists, you generally set jobs for them, and then the people with the applicable skills go and complete those jobs. Rimworld is based in like a kind of a mixture of the Wild West and sci-fi. So you're crashed on this distant planet, savage place with all sorts of fraught with peril. And I have been working on this one colony for like 11 in-game years, which is quite a while in-game. Finally, though, yes, Doc?
Rimworld, is this a world on the rim of, like, the galaxy?
Yes,
or
exactly.
Is it actually a rim in shape?
The former.
Okay.
Would you have preferred it was
the
latter? I don't even know how that would work. You mean like a Halo situation?
Yeah, just be Halo. I guess I want to play Halo. Okay, continue.
So, good news for the people at home. Junkblade and Valen made it off the planet.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Doc. I don't remember exactly what happened to you.
Oh, I can't even tell my tale in song.
Well, I mean, you know, I know what happened. So it was either the Scythers or the pirates, and you took a bullet somewhere that you couldn't recover from. So,
what was my job?
Your job. Gosh, what did you do? You were like a cook and just general carrier of things.
Okay. Well, at least I made a great impact on the community, obviously.
I put you in a nice sarcophagus.
Oh man, what color was it?
It was a granite one. It was really well done, very tastefully done.
You can't tell when those are dirty, so that's good.
I could launch the game and we could read what the randomly generated artwork that was carved on your tomb was.
No, I'd prefer to just wonder for a little bit longer about that, probably.
Well, you know, but again, you should be happy that 2 out of the 3 of us got off the planet. Thomas got off, and he actually took a bullet to the brain.
Well, that seems ridiculous.
So he had a bullet lodged in his brain. You couldn't operate it on it, and because of it, he was pretty worthless. It made his ability to do any task. He slowed him down considerably, and sometimes he would just fall down and have to be taken to a hospital bed and treated because of it.
But he made it off the planet.
He did.
Where did I get shot then? That apparently was not.
Well, it didn't. I mean, if you get like shot in the chest or something up, you just die. So it's, you know, it's a very. I've never seen somebody take a bullet to the brain before. So it's.
But to the brain, you just go achoo. Anyway, back to my work.
I don't know how he did it. I had to keep him indoors and stuff because he was so susceptible to. He was just kind of ambling around for the last like 7 years, just
Boy.
stumbling around inside.
There's just no replacing genetics, I guess. Right?
Exactly. So it was good,
Okay.
Good. Got off the planet. I really need to crack.
Does that mean
back.
it's over, or you're going to a new planet?
Yes. So there is, like, as opposed to Dwarf Fortress, which is a colony builder without a win condition, there is one here. Well, I can actually keep going with. There was like a random person I left. I couldn't fit on the ship, so I left behind, of the 21 colonists I had at that time, I left behind the last one, the guy who I had recruited most recently, only like a few weeks prior. He didn't get to go with us on our spaceship, but I can continue the colony with him if I want, and just keep like playing indefinitely.
Okay.
But now that we're gone, I don't care as much.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was the Rimworld story. A lot of fun stuff happened. There were tornadoes, countless invasions, meteorites, bugs bursting out underground in the cave areas. So just all sorts
Horrifying.
Lots of action packed.
You got to really, exactly. That's why I wanted to get us off that planet, because it's, gosh, just so many. Keep going.
Anything given to the idea that you got off the planet and like where to go next, or you're just like, oh, to space?
Well, the idea is we're trying to get to one of these planets that are called glitter worlds.
Oh boy.
High-tech, futuristic civilizations, utopia-esque.
That's the name they went with, huh?
Glitter World, yeah.
Glitter
Rimworld,
World.
Glitter World, Herb World, if you just want a kind of a dingy, what you'd call like a middle-class world.
That's not just full of drugs?
Herb World? No. Well, maybe.
What
probably.
Wasted opportunity.
There are drugs, and there are a lot of drugs in the game that I don't let people take because it doesn't usually help you out.
Yeah.
Well, beer. I let everyone drink beer, but the problem is they drink so much beer by the end of it, 11 years in, I had cirrhosis, Justin had cirrhosis, multiple people had were alcoholics with cirrhosis, so.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of different things that can happen to your people there.
Actually the health system in the game is very robust. For example, Cousin Randy, who I think you are familiar with, he had a kidney infection that I couldn't fix, so I put him in cryosleep on the ship so that he would be frozen and he wouldn't die. And then I assume once we get to our futuristic world, we can.
I'm starting to feel like you let me go, is what I'm feeling.
I did not.
Based on the number of other people that have survived with like ridiculous maladies. I take one to the chest, which is a big area.
If it just says you're dead, then you're just dead. Like, I can't resurrect you.
I guess you can say that. I've never played it. But
gosh, I mean, I tried. I really did,
That's very funny.
The problem was, so I know for sure, because you were in a position to die, that means that you were probably a good shot, and I needed everybody who can actually wield a gun on the front lines when the bad guys come in, so. At least you didn't, it wasn't friendly fire. I had a guy for like 8 years, and somebody else shot him in the back of the head trying to shoot a bad guy.
That's not ideal.
I'm just saying it could be worse.
Back in the day, he didn't just carry on and go, you fixed my cirrhosis. Thank you, friend. With that bullet to the head. No? You didn't shake that one off?
No, I mean, again, like, that's the kind of the cool part and frustrating part about the game is, you can have a guy alive for a long time in game, and then if you, one wrong move, one bullet to the head, and just dead, man. All right. So, Dave, I've decided to launch the game to talk about the artwork on your tomb.
Okay.
Now, first of all, I'm going to give, if I can, I don't know if I can anymore, no, because you're dead, I can't So the title of your sarcophagus, which apparently, okay, so it's a limestone sarcophagus. So it's not granite, it's limestone, which is still very nice. That's come on, that's really good.
You got me excited for the granite, though.
Um,
Limestone's a peasant's rock. Everyone knows it.
Apparently, the work on your tomb, so your limestone sarcophagus, it's also of shoddy quality. Apparently,
Of course. You can't work
Evan,
with
how could you
limestone.
do
It's
that
too
to him?
spongy. I think.
This sarcophagus, so the title of the work is Red Dave, and it's engraved with a depiction of Dave searching for shade with red, dry skin. Wait, what? Okay.
What?
So you're searching for shade, and you have red, dry skin. That's
I got
part of it.
sunburned. Okay.
Okay, well, and then innumerable desiccated grouse corpses surround the area. The cell-shaded style of the central scene clashes with the minimalistic depiction of the background. The artwork relates to Dave getting heat stroke on 6th of December, 5504.
In December.
Well, so it's December, they're made-up season, so that's probably summer on this planet. As a matter of fact, December is summer, so...
Couldn't spring for pheasants, though. We had to do grouse.
I don't know why you were surrounded by dead grouse. Like, talk to the artist, who's also
Sounds
dead,
like
by the way.
Grousing sounds like something I was complaining about. Is what I'm thinking.
No, desiccated grouse.
So
I think
got
grouse
sunburned a lot, and I groused about it. And they decided to represent that by the thousands of corpses of grouse.
I like that interpretation.
In a coffin made of sedimentary rock composed mainly of skeletal fragments of marine organisms, which you know is not going to hold anything back. Oh boy.
I did my best.
Most cave systems are through limestone bedrock, so this thing's going to be nothing in a couple thousand years. Okay.
If you want, once we get to the glitter world, I'll turn around and come pick up your.
No, it's fine.
I saved the game right before I launched the ship, so that I could always have like a last-minute snapshot of my awesome colony. I think I can take your corpse out of the tomb and throw it in cryo sleep, so we can just carry your corpse with us if you want.
You know, that it's the thought that counts, I think, really, is what that is.
Hey, if we throw his corpse in cryosleep, maybe once we get to the glitter world, they have ways of resurrecting him.
That's true.
Unless you get shot in the chest. Boy, we haven't figured that one out. Bullet in the brain? No problem. Just sucked it right out. Kidney? Rare kidney disease? New kidneys. Right there.
At least you weren't colonist Greg, who was in a social fight with my cousin Jake, and Jake beat him to death. So because
that turned from social to not very social quickly. Right.
It really escalated.
That sounds like it escalated quickly.
One of my colonists kept getting in fights because it says one of their characteristics is ugly, and people started fighting them because they're ugly.
Boy,
it's a rough planet to be on.
Sounds like it, man. You think you'd let that guy? He's got enough to deal with. You let him go, right? To think, oh boy, at least I'm not that guy.
Once we get to the glitter world, we're going to take care. I'm sure they have plastic surgeons.
I don't know if the glitter world's going to help the society here. It doesn't sound good.
Let's talk about The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yes. So naturally, I've been talking about randomizer a lot, so I said, hey, why don't I play the original game for a bit? So I did. Turns out I can beat it, like, pretty fast now that I've been playing other stuff with Link to the Past in it. So that was cool.
How fast is fast?
I turned it on this morning with 1 crystal, I think, and I turned it off with 6.
Wow.
So
pretty fast.
One dungeon and Ganon away from beating it.
That's really impressive.
So I people beat it in like an hour and a half, but so yeah, that was fun. So I was traveling most of this week. I did actually get to play a tiny bit of Mario Tennis. I can't say anything about it other than it is a tennis game. So that's as advertised. And there are Mario characters. I defeated a Dry Bones in tennis combat. And I captured his soul in my racket, I'm pretty sure is what happened. So that's good.
That's canon, is it?
In my head it is.
So it's headcanon.
Headcanon. We also played a little of Jackbox up at the lake, which was fun.
Ooh, Jackbox is
That's
fun.
a good game. We should play that with
We should.
because it's very easy to do even across.
I don't know Jackbox.
You'd really like
Well,
it.
you just need your phone, and then we play silly games and try to make jokes. And except the
Okay.
one game we played this time was you're trying to make up answers to trivia questions that sounded correct, and my brother could not resist the joke answers. So
Yeah, that sounds like Scott.
Yeah, and he loves winning, so it was a real battle. He lasted about 3 rounds, I think, before he just. So he never won, but because you could tell the questions that he just was not going to be able to handle. So that was fun. But yeah, so those were good games. I don't think any of those are games I said I was going. I might have said I was going to play Mario Tennis, but then again, I played 5 minutes of it. But that counts. Okay, I don't think I've got more to say on that.
Good, solid wrap up.
I'm gonna set up a randomizer day this week though. We're gonna, as many people as I can get are gonna play randomizer together.
That'd be fun. Okay.
Okay, so Junkblade, you had the excellent idea for our topic today about good games with bad names and vice versa, bad games with good names. And I'm going to need you guys to talk about it for a bit while I look up ideas for this.
All right. Well, first, I want to say before we go any further, I do have a little bit of a digression to go into after this topic is over.
Rant time. Okay.
No, not a rant. Just
Oh.
I could go into it real quick because it'll take like 2 minutes.
Can it be kind of a rant?
Yeah, rants are in right now.
Yeah,
I
Rants are
suppose
in
it could
right
be
now.
kind of a rant.
So- Hit me.
You know how like a few years back we heard for the Final Fantasy VII remake they had like gameplay footage that was showing off how it was looking?
Yeah.
I feel like the news just keeps like regressing to earlier in the development progress because my friend just tonight linked me. She just said they revealed what Tifa looks like in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh yeah, that
It's-
that development's a mess. I think they might have changed developers already. So
Yeah, it's almost like it's going backwards in the announcement process. So I expected 6 months they're going to announce they're releasing it again.
how does Tifa look?
I shall link the both of you so that you can decide for yourselves.
All right, boobs, got it. That fits. Yep, that's what I thought.
Well, I mean, but this isn't. This is like a cutscene, right? What's the point of?
I have no idea. This is all my friend linked me. She just said, "Hey, this is what they revealed what she looks like in the remake."
So she looks like what she looked like before, but higher def,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she's got
and-
that elbow pad thing now, so that's a thing that I.
My
Oh.
point was just that we seem to be going like
Oh yeah, it's
back
a
in
disaster.
time in terms of the development release.
Yeah, it's a mess and to the degree that I'm kind of not even interested really anymore. They've
I'm not
Right.
either.
I'm just gonna play original Final Fantasy VII and.
She always had the elbow pad thing just for ever.
Shit.
I just looked up a picture of old Tifa.
Okay, never mind. What about? Never mind. There's nothing but boobs there. Okay. Okay, but no,
So-
a very valid point, Junkblade. That game is in trouble, I think.
Yeah, that game is in trouble. I even if they release it, I think it's going to be like Solo, where if they'd released it on time and within the desired budget, it would have been fine. But since they spent literally twice as much on it,
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say it's not gonna like make them money. I bet it'll sell a ton. I just don't think it'll be good,
That's fair.
which is a bummer.
Which
Anyway, on to the primary topic of good and bad names in video games, whether those video games are good or bad.
lead us off.
I was honestly, what brought this up was, of all things, I was driving around one night and noticing street names and thinking, some of these would actually work for, like, locations in a video game, or and then just wondering, how do people actually determine this is what I'm going to name this place or person in a video game, or a game in general? Like, for example, there was a sign called Morning Gate Road, and Morning Gate would work well as a name for just like a city in a game. It's not that out of place compared to most things in D&D, which has some really blatantly not thought out names like Waterdeep or
I like
Tin
Waterdeep.
Towns or the Underdark.
The Underdark was always very silly.
Which I'm not saying those are necessarily bad, just that they clearly don't take all that much creativity. They don't make you wonder where the person thought of the name. Or like Yartar, which just sounds like somebody was making noises and decided, you know what, we'll turn that into a town location.
Okay. Valen, you want to jump in? Do you have more of them?
I was going to say, in regards to like good names, I do like the naming convention of the Crimson Court, even though it's very simple. It like the enemies are called like the Esquire or the Baron or
Court.
the Viscount.
Courtly names.
Court
basically.
names.
It sounds
simple.
bad, so that's...
Yeah, it sounds bad, and it's a good theme.
Okay.
It's a theme that makes sense with what they're doing, and I think most of the names in Darkest Dungeon are pretty good. Like the Inchoate Flesh, or the Swine King.
Swine King, Big King.
Yeah. They're very evocative of what it is you're facing, and that, to me, indicates a good name. A bad name is one where you're just like, why did you decide to go with this?
I personally dislike, in general, names that are super long. So, like, an example of a game that I like, but I'm not a huge fan of the name, is like it's Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. I just don't like names that are super long. And I think that's just too much. I liked Shadow Tactics, that'd be fine. But Blades, I don't need the subtitle or whatever you call that. What do you call it?
Subtitle.
Thomas is saying, but for franchising purposes,
gotta think of the brand.
Yeah. So maybe I don't like franchising.
That could be it.
Well,
actually, I would like to see more of these games because I really enjoyed that game. So fine, if that's the price I have to pay.
I think you can have franchising in mind without going to ridiculous length for a name. Like the Tales of series, it's always Tales of blank.
But the word they come up with afterwards is just the worst.
Yeah.
Vesperia, Bestera.
Yeah, exactly.
Symphonia.
Yeah.
Fair. Harvest is another series where it's like you have the base title and then the subtitle.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
People like the Mega Man games, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, they really started running dry on the old boss names. for some of these
Yeah.
games. Now, I don't really think there's like the original, like the one, the numbered Mega Man games. I don't think there's really a bad one among them. But man, you've got chilling bosses such as Dust Man, Cloud Man, Jewel Man, Pump Man. He's a water pump. Sheep Man.
Sheep Man?
Plant Man.
I think Plant Man's the best of everyone you mentioned there.
I
We're talking about Mega Man characters now.
like in the X series how they
You're welcome to join the
decided to do a
podcast.
different formula for the boss names, which didn't always work, but
They got a little silly also, but yes, at least it was different.
yeah.
I like when they started doing in Mega Man X the adjective animal.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good name
That's
switch.
what Junkblade is.
Blizzard,
referring to.
Buffalo, Overdrive, Ostrich, Morph Maw.
I really like that game.
I think they all also were alliterative names. All the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, there's Volt Catfish.
I will say the Japanese names are pretty funny also.
What are the...
Is Boomer Kawanger one of the English ones, or is that the Japanese one?
Yes, Boomer
That's,
Quanger's English.
English.
Let me look
That's
at
still a
it.
great name, though.
Anyone can know what a
Is that like a
Kawanger is.
Kangaroo?
No,
It's
he's
a weird-
I gotta look up what
ant-like thing.
What the hell is a Kawanger? Is the top...
Oh, maybe it's just the spelling. So, like, Storm Eagle is Storm Eagleed. Flamin' Mammoth is Burnin' Newmander.
He's based on the stag beetle. Kuwagata in Japanese, which I probably relentlessly butchered, and if so, I apologize.
Crush Crawfish is Scissor Shrimper.
Scissor Shrimper.
Toxic Seahorse is Acid Sea Force.
I like that one a lot.
What was Neon Tiger?
Okay. Blizzard Buffalo was Frozen Buffaleo. Neon Tiger. Shining Tigered.
Gravity Beetle was Gravity Beat Bood.
Beat Boot, that's a good one. So yeah, since I have two of my X games of the Japanese versions, it's pretty funny.
Oh, Gravity Beetle was apparently Boomer Kawanger's brother.
Oh, of course. Seeking Revenge.
Well, how can... Wait, I thought they were like built. I thought they were robots.
Well, you can program the brotherly bond between robots.
I'm just
I mean,
asking.
Zero had a girlfriend, so...
Yeah, but I thought he used to be a person, so I...
What?
No.
Oh, they're all robots.
Oh,
In
yeah,
the
okay.
original Mega Man, Rock or Rock or Mega Man used to be a person, but in the X series, they're all robots.
Wait,
and always
what?
have been. Yeah, in the original series, Rock was a person who got turned into a robot.
Hang
I thought.
Hang the phone right now.
Or maybe this is just like some sort of myth that's been going in our family for years and has never been corrected for some reason.
I missed the myth. I'm back. I got a short internet lag spike thing there. What's the mind-blowing moment I missed?
Well, I thought Mega Man was just a robot.
Oh no, I remember he was like a person that got made into a...
Okay, I'm not sure.
Wait, what's canon
I've
here?
Seen that yet?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Mega Man.
Was Mega Man a person? Is Mega Man human?
Well, there's a main timeline and a spin-off timeline, so...
Well, let's hit main timeline.
Oh, it says... Never mind. So the main timeline takes place from 2000X to 20XX.
200X to 20XX. Okay, that's helpful.
That doesn't actually tell me anything about... Okay.
Just
Not a lot on Wikipedia.
Mega Man is an android. Originally named Rock, created as a lab assistant by the scientist Dr. Light.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah, I guess they are all always robots.
Whew, okay. I was getting worried there for a second.
So sorry for misleading you, dear viewers.
Mega Man, a form of data? What? A form of data? Well, no, Mega Man's a super fighting robot who shoots beep 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 out of his arm and sucks the souls of other robots into him and eats their powers.
Well, they don't have. I thought. Sure. Well, Mega Man X he's different than the original Mega Man.
He does not have the 3 laws programmed into him, unlike Rock did.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh,
Which...
Oof.
All the fighting stuff? No, White Nova, you get out of here with that. Mega Man is a real thing. Software. Ridiculous. Are you getting meta on us in the fact that it's literally software because it's a game? Is that what we're talking about? Or... So is Dr. Light software also? Because they seems like a real person.
No, he's a person. Dr. Thomas Light. Oh, I can't. Okay, I'm getting too deep in Mega Man lore. And I don't think there's really a whole lot there, honestly, it doesn't seem like.
No,
is there a ton there?
There's actually like a lot.
Where are you getting this nonsense from?
Me? Where am I getting stuff?
I'm saying White Nova. It says Mega Man is an android. It does not say computer software.
I mean, in one of the series of games, he was technically computer software.
You're talking about like Rockman EXE or something? Battle Network? Or
yeah, Battle Network. That's one I was trying to think of.
Well, we're not talking about the spin-off games.
Fair enough.
I thought that's how hackers worked. They like control a little Mega Man character and he fights.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
No? Okay. Back to good games with bad names or bad games with good names. It's gonna be a lot harder with the bad games with good names than I've got plenty of good games. This is why
the initial topic was actually just bad and good names in games.
No, we should have both. Like anything that's short and sweet. I'm going to just run through my Steam library and tell you names that I like. And I don't care what kind of game it is. But I like the Culling. Actually, the Culling, that game's terrible. But I like that name, the Culling. Darkest Dungeon, great name. Endless Legend, it's a good name. The Escapists, I like that name. Fallout's a good name. Faster Than Light, I like that name.
But aren't we trying to find the juxtaposition between name and quality?
Yeah, I know. Well, but I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set a template, and then using the template we can quickly ascertain candidates for
drill to the bottom of it here.
It's really easy to find good games with bad names, but it feels harder to find bad games with good names, because usually if a game is bad, you just stop playing it.
Right. What? I didn't like the game Always Sometimes Monsters, and I guess I don't really like that title either, so...
Well, it's a mouthful.
I thought I might have had one there, but then I realized I just disliked...
The whole package?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would outright call it bad, but Divinity 2 Ego Draconis was not a great game, but I enjoyed it, and I liked some of the names in it.
Gosh dang it. There's got to be something. I've got all these games in here. I've got to be a couple that I didn't like.
Say, Audio Surf is a cool name. I've never played the game, so that's, I guess.
I have. It's reasonably enjoyable.
Okay, Sid Meier's Ace Patrol. I think Ace Patrol is a pretty decent name for a game, and that was one of the worst games I've ever played. So.
But like the guy's name in front of it kind of tips you off of that, right? I guess Sid Meier has had plenty of good games, but still, come on, bud.
Well, it came as part of a, I don't know. I thought it.
But like
I'm saying
like every game he makes is Sid Meier's something. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
This was a visual novel I enjoyed. Analog, a hate story.
A hate story?
A hate story.
Ooh, that sounds
pretty bad
dark.
name.
It was dark, but I enjoyed playing it.
What are some of these games I've got?
I know. I'm seeing like so. Here's
Holy
a great
Potatoes.
name.
We're in space.
That's a good. I tried Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball.
Oh
which
God, you guys didn't play nearly enough of that with me.
I didn't. I
didn't know that was
It was so good.
I played a little bit of
bad game with a good name. Knights of Pen and Paper +1.
Yeah, I like that name, but apparently I have no idea what it is. But
it's sort of like a D&D simulator sort of thing. It's okay, I guess. And to be fair, I guess calling it bad is not exactly fair in the sense that it does what it set out to do, and it's clearly like an indie game that's not even made by a particularly large company or anything.
All right. So, I liked New Super Mario Brothers, like the naming convention for the first one, where it's like, oh, a new 2D Mario game. That's cool. However, the commitment to it, the fact that it all the way to the Wii U, where they went with New Super Mario Brothers U, like, oh, ugh. Just like either keep numbering, or just come up with a different name. Like, just do New Super Mario Brothers 3, New Super Mario Brothers 4. It's fine. Don't do U, okay?
I like the option of just continuing to number because I just find the image of me saying, yeah, I think my favorite Mario Party was 27 very amusing.
Although I guess I will go back on that now and say that Super Mario Party is a better name than Mario Party 11.
Fair.
Which is the new one coming out now. I will say that.
yeah, that's a good idea. I've got a surprise for all the viewers at home. We've got special guest Tommy Tom would like to join the call.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can't.
He's in Discord.
How about he just sits like next to you, so I don't have to do the Windows. This is gonna be a lot of editing on the fly here.
Never mind, we can't add you to the call. Because he's
I mean, we can. It's probably just not going to be it's going to mess your Windows up. Oh, man.
Yeah, we appreciate your commentary. It's because, he's got the Windows set up, but when we add you to the call,
it's going to shift
it messes
everything.
up, it moves all the windows. And so all the
people
windows...
come to this podcast for professional presentation.
That's why I come here.
But even if without video right now, but it still has a box. Like I don't have video on the call right now, but it still has a box with like my icon or whatever. No, we're on Discord. All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
All right, we're just gonna try it.
No video for you, Thomas.
No sacrifice, no victory.
Oh gosh.
It looks so bad.
Hey, what? What's?
You're in.
I am in. What's?
Oh God. Okay. Here we go.
What? What?
Okay, look,
this looks great, right?
No, this is what.
It's not.
It's fun. I don't have to be visible,
But
right?
that's not the thing. We don't care about it. So it's not that. It's that.
It's where
Doc
Junk
already
Blade
set
has
up.
disappeared too.
Right.
Wait, what?
Because when you join the.
Awesome. That was great.
Because when you join the call, because Mate has now switched to 4 screens, he had set it up so it's broadcasting 3 screens. So he's trying to see. This is what he's trying to do right now.
Okay, OBS Studio isn't that hard though, right? Like,
Okay, maybe you should just show up on time next time.
right.
Well, real lesson.
Nobody invited me.
I invited you, and you said
You are in the same room. If there's no, you didn't know what was happening.
What Evan said was he was going to chat with Caleb, which is not the same thing as broadcasting. So
but then I invited you. I said, "Did you want to join us?"
yeah, but I was mid-league, so
Sounds like a perfect excuse to get out of that.
Yeah, League of Legends, the unmentionable game that everyone is apparently playing now.
We won't talk about
I actually never want to play it again. So
good.
Did things not go well?
we lost, but like the whole time I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a good experience with it ever.
That's why I never got into it, because the few times I played it, I was just like, this isn't actually fun.
Yeah, I think I'm done with League.
Very astute observation.
So
I love this.
So
The editing on the fly worked out great.
You don't have to worry about me playing League, Doc.
Oh.
Okay.
So what topic am
Tom,
I
do you have
inserting
anything
on?
to add on good games with bad names or bad names with good names?
So did you determine that Mega Man is the best named game in the history of all video games? Or
Well, I mean,
Well,
a good game with a good name isn't what we're talking about, right?
No, yeah, we're not. We're talking about.
Mega Man we brought up in terms of the boss names got really bad towards the end, but the games were still good.
I disagree. I think the names are wonderful. They tell you exactly what that boss is going to do, right?
What does Dustman do?
He throws dust. He throws dust at you in these big blocks, right?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
That is actually accurate.
That is. See?
But why did he?
What's
why
big
did
blocks
he, why
about
the blocks?
dust?
Wait, what?
Why blocks? Yeah, I get the dust, but why the blocks?
Because, Dave, how do you animate on 8-pixel graphics?
Why did we come up with aliases? I don't know.
So wait, are we
Just all out
limited
the
to
window.
just the? Are we limited it to just the NES version of the game, or do 7 and 8 also count as having good boss names? Because I do not like the name Tengu Man.
What's a Tengu Man?
It's a man
Clown
who
Man,
is
also bad.
A creature called a Tengu, which is a weird flying bird thing.
Spring Man, not really scared of springs.
Okay, so is
Clown
Final
Man.
What was the consensus on Final Fantasy?
We did not bring up Final Fantasy yet.
Oh, because I mean, how do you have Final Fantasy 1, but then you have a sequel to it if it's not
Well,
the
I mean,
final?
every one of those stories is pretty dire in terms of the fate of the world, right? Feels pretty funny.
Right, but I think...
But what I'm saying is it ends up not being final by the end of it, right? So, I mean, so it's a lie.
I only get, but they don't really go back to the same world very much. So I'm not as upset about it, and I also enjoy just thinking about how it's like they're just like, oh crap. I guess we have to try to make a good game. This is our last shot. So.
Okay.
So that kind of fatalism I appreciate.
I can get on board with that.
But no, it is a bit silly now that we're on 15. So it did lose a bit of the punch. This is a tougher topic than I thought it would be. Oh, okay. Good game with a really goofy name. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE.
Terrible name.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah,
even.
it's an RPG for the Wii U. The Sharp FE, I think, refers to Fire Emblem because it's like Persona mixed with Fire Emblem. So
interesting.
A very good game, but that name not great.
In my defense, the original topic would have been very easy, but then it got twisted into this monstrosity.
I didn't say it was a bad topic. This topic is fantastic.
What was the original topic?
Just good and bad names in games.
I apparently read it completely differently. Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I also like this topic.
Also like to announce Tommy Tom's foray into 24-hour yoga streaming.
Wait, is that
He's going to be
happening?
live streaming yoga 24/7. I don't know when he's going to eat or sleep, but
What kind of yoga?
Hot yoga.
Okay.
Hot mixed with power yoga and Birkham, so.
I thought Bikram yoga was the hot yoga.
No,
No,
Dave.
no.
No, Dave. Obviously, you need to watch my stream. to
Nope.
learn
I am
all
perfectly
there is.
comfortable with that level of knowledge about yoga. Okay.
Okay.
wait, don't you have on Twitch? Don't you have the name Yoga Tom or something?
I do. I was experimenting with who would watch me do yoga to techno music. It was not very successful, as you might imagine.
Well, how much did you advertise?
I actually bet.
I didn't really advertise. I
Gotcha.
didn't have a chance to make it a consistent stream either.
Right. I bet it would be very popular if you did those two.
I need to do a little bit more. It was my own techno music creation as well. So
Oh, I like that.
there was a lot going on for it, and I just don't think I'm a man who's ahead of my time. That's
Okay.
what I really think the issue was.
I think we all are, really. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the bots have got on board and are watching, but everybody else.
Yeah, we even got a bot
That's why
follow.
they're
today.
watching.
a bot follow.
That's why they're watching. They're taking our ideas.
That could be it.
Oh man.
A big aggregator. That's the problem.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
So, have we ever had anybody talk to us on this?
Yeah, we got white
I
notes.
mean, it's happening right
oh,
now.
my bad. I'm not in the stream, so I cannot see that. Interesting.
But no, not very often.
Thanks for watching, White Nova. You make our dreams come true. So
I bet that's why he stopped by for that really nice shout out.
Okay.
man,
Does
I'm
anyone-
losing my.
Have any other game name ideas?
I think we.
Hey, this is a boring topic. Let's move on, right? Right.
I enjoyed it.
What about Minute Chess? That's not a great name, is it?
Why?
I mean, it's descriptive. What else are you going to call it?
It's descriptive.
I mean, but a game of Minute Chess can last up to 2 minutes, or almost up to 2 minutes. So
Well, it doesn't say 1 minute chess, does it? Think about it. Think.
but well, yeah, but by not it would be minutes if it was any more than one. So it has to be one by just the by syntax, right?
Nah.
Well,
It would be like saying I have
maybe it's
a hot dog and saying, but it doesn't specify the number of hot dogs. But you
No.
can safely assume it would be
And checkmate.
I think
one hot dog.
minute chess is still adequately descriptive because each player gets 1 minute to do all their
I
turns.
say 2 minutes is still abbreviated enough that it describes the overall gist
The
of
game.
the variant.
Yeah, but it's kind of boring. What if it was something like I don't know,
Super battle action chess.
queens,
Ooh, I like
queens and kings.
Wait.
A
Let's rename
kingdom.
chess. Let's rename chess right now. It's not chess anymore. That word has no meaning. That word doesn't exist in this universe. What do we call this game?
Mind subjugation.
Interesting. Minds.
Game that a fourth grader is always going to be better than you at, and it's going to make you feel really bad about yourself.
That is
Too long.
interesting.
Okay.
No, I like. Okay, what would you call poker?
A waste of my money.
Bluff a lot.
No,
And
time.
bust
Time. Waste of my
some
time. Sorry.
Why? Because So not a waste of your money. So you would make money. If you
The 2 games I have played, I have won once and gotten second the next time. But God, it was just so tedious.
Yeah, I don't really like.
Like the one I won is just like, oh God. When it gets down to 2 people, it's just like, let's just split it. I'm so tired of thinking and be like, oh, maybe I'll bet 30. What about 30? How does 30 strike you this time?
Yeah, but when it's $30,000, isn't it exhilarating?
No, because I could buy stuff with that money.
No, but you're winning it. That's $30,000 you didn't have.
Yeah.
But if that's $30,000 he didn't have, he had to put in $30,000 he didn't have to make
That's
that $30,000.
That's the way losers think about it.
Right, that's why you're not great at chess.
Wait, we're talking
I mean, poker. Well, it's also why you're not good at chess as well.
Well, I'm not good at chess because I didn't read about it or play it very
I'm
much.
not good at either.
Chess is primarily a game of reading all your openings and memorizing them. And
Yeah. Poker's just kind of like, I hope I get good cards.
But then you're convincing people you have good cards.
Kinda, but eventually you gotta have good cards.
You don't. You can win
through. Yeah, I guess if people for some reason.
Well, yeah, if you're playing just idiots all the time, sure.
You can always.
I don't think that $30,000 game you're talking about is going to work like that.
Well, that's why I'm going to be a successful poker player one day.
You're doing poker now?
I'm not sure you've convinced us of that.
You wait and see. After my yoga stream takes off.
And it's just the natural transition to poker.
Right. Yes. I'm going to do that.
Is that still on TV? Boy, that was a big thing back in the mid-2000s, wasn't it? On ESPN.
Yes, it was.
All that nonsense.
Still on ESPN.
Still?
Oh yeah, they still have they do the World Series every year. They actually televise more events now than they did because they televise a lot of the non-main events as well. So
the non-main events.
Well, because the World Series of Poker is like a month long of poker.
How silly have the sunglasses gotten? That's my main question.
I mean, I don't follow it.
So how do you know all the TV schedules though?
Well, I know that. Well, I don't follow it, but I did recently watch Daniel Negreanu's World Series of Poker 2018 blog, in which he blogged every day and how he was doing and what he was doing.
Okay.
It was actually kind of interesting because I had never seen I always wondered how these poker pros live, and he lives very well because he's very good at poker. But so it's probably not an accurate representation of a lot of them. But it was interesting to see his schedule for the 40 days that he was playing tournaments, and sometimes multiple tournaments a day.
Okay.
So,
is the what he was doing section just playing cards?
Pretty much.
Shuffle them up the deal, playing cards.
Yeah, I mean that was basically it.
AC Doocy. That's cards. Pinochle. What about Pinochle? Can we play Pinochle?
No, but
what if we bring that to the mainstream?
What if we did euchre, like a fun game?
I hate euchre. I don't know how anybody actually enjoys euchre.
How about Wizard?
It's not that difficult.
Well, that's kind of the point.
It's like a card game, but it's fun to play. That's really the secret.
I'm arguing with you on the fun to play part.
No, that's kind of accepted. That's an accepted premise here. We're not arguing that.
But so normal card games have 52 cards, which makes having to count cards and things a lot.
Oh yeah, I really missed the
difficult.
Sixes. I'm like, I could really get a 6 here. That'd be something, huh?
Well,
I just don't have enough of those 6s in there.
Saying it's.
I think Thomas's point is the game is not complex enough for him.
Then you're not playing the right kind of euchre, Thomas. It's called double bid. Go for it. There.
What is it?
Change your world. Double bid.
Double did?
No.
Bid.
Double bid. What? Explain.
I don't have time to explain now. It's just better.
Well,
Don't we have till 9? Or what's our next topic? Are we off schedule here?
I have no idea what topic.
What's our guest want to know?
Our topic is.
He wants to know what topic are we on.
We're moving on to our next.
You
topic.
tell us, White Nova. We will. We are here for you.
Well, yeah. If you want to come up with a topic, we'll talk about it.
I think we started with minute chess being a name or something, and then it's just really.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna go with SGDQ recommendations.
What?
SGDQ recommendations.
What is that?
Doc, explain to the viewers.
SGDQ stands for Summer Games Done Quick. It's a charity marathon. They do 2 of them a year.
Oh, okay.
This one, I think, final count was over $2 million for Doctors Without Borders. So very successful. And they did, it was like a week long, 24/7 of doing speed runs. So a lot of fun races and other kind of, games a ton of games I've never even really heard of. So, but recommendations in terms of recommendations for me, the Super Mario Maker race, relay race was fantastic. I would recommend that to anybody. Ocarina of Time Bingo was cool, but you probably have to be a little more into Ocarina of Time speedrunning, because it generates a bingo card and the guy decides which one to go for, and it's like kind of random stuff like, all the small keys from the Forest Temple, or all the Skulltulas from...
My God, you have to know the game so well to be able to do that.
So that part is impressive. I think for a first exposure, having one person do it was interesting, but I think a race would be a cool thing to watch next of that type of thing. But,
of a bingo card where they could go off on different paths and everything?
Yes, yeah.
That actually would be very cool.
Yeah, seeing the decision making and that sort of stuff. I mean, so it's the Games Done Quick YouTube channel. They upload every run. Just kind of... I always want to I should have called attention to it last week, I think, but...
Well, can I just say games that I would probably watch some of, even though I don't think they would do, because I don't think they're popular enough?
You'd be surprised. Go ahead.
Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun.
Now, what kind of game is that exactly?
Doesn't the name tell you everything you need to know?
Is that an RPG?
Shadow Tactics. No,
it's a tactics-based game.
It's a stealth game. You get some combination of these 6 different characters, anywhere from just 1 to 5 of them, and there are 12 different levels, and they're generally really, really big levels, and you're given a variety of random objectives, anything from sneak into a place and
people are speedrunning it. I don't think it's made an appearance at a GDQ yet, but get in there and submit it.
Well, what do you mean submit it?
They take open submissions. So anyone can say, I want to run this. I mean, you have to probably have a couple runs on Twitch showing how you do it and how you kind of talk about it and that sort of stuff. But yeah.
I'd have to do that because I've barely done each level has what's called some sort of speed run goal already embedded in it. And I haven't beat all of those yet.
Okay, well, you'll want to get better at the game, I guess, would be the first step.
Well, I don't want to do it. I want to watch other people do
it. Well, how are we going to get it going if someone isn't the genesis of it?
Well, because we're talking about,
Don't you want to be able to say you were the best speedrunner at this game?
Go on YouTube and start bugging Surrock to submit it for GDQ.
It also sounds like too much work for me. So to get these speedrun goals for the missions we're talking about, submissions, it's you have a 30-minute goal, and the way it works is you can't save and then load the save or anything because it's all cumulative. Mm-hmm. That means in order to try to beat just this one mission and get that one check mark, I'm probably not spending 30 minutes because I'm probably restarting a bunch. I'm probably spending hours and hours and hours.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, yeah.
That's not gonna work in the live setting there. That's gonna be tough.
Plus, I need to plot out how I'm gonna do the map and stuff, and it's a lot of work, man.
Guy beat Deus Ex in 45 minutes.
That'd be really tough. Like the old one, the original one.
The original one.
That's possible.
Apparently. Let's see. I say a lot of good Mega Man runs. Mega Man 9. Mega Man. Super Monkey Ball is always a crazy game to watch speed run. I would recommend that one.
That game is legitimately annoying and hard at some of the levels.
And watching these guys just, yeah, that one is bananas. That was good. I'm proud of myself for that one. Mega Man X2. I'm just scrolling right now. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
I remember something about like a guy beat Mega Man X2 and 3 simultaneously in the same speed run.
Wait,
I have not heard of that one.
So what? Back to back or
No, he rigged it so when he was controlling him, he's controlling both characters.
Oh, a guy. What? No, what?
In both
I don't
games.
know if it was that. What was it that he was doing?
Yeah, it was really.
That might have been the
impressive.
last GDQ that someone did that. I can't remember what the games were specifically though.
He's controlling both characters at the same time, but
And he like buffered in certain things. What was it?
Yeah, it's the amount of preparatory work he would have had to do in order to figure out how to
GDQ.
do
Oh,
this.
it was Punch Out and Super Punch Out. He beat Punch Out and Super Punch Out simultaneously.
Which is really cool.
And I think the guy that did that beat it blindfolded the previous year. So
Blindfolded's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because how do you? If he's off at all, does he just lose, or can somebody tell him?
I think so. Well, a guy, this one's a little longer. A guy beat Ocarina of Time blindfolded too. So.
Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was also a blind person who beat it.
The guy, the reason he started doing it was a blind guy contacted him and asked him to help him get through it.
Oh, okay.
And that's how he didn't. The blind guy didn't end up beating it, but then the guy kind of got into it enough that he wanted to try to see how quickly he could do it.
Wow.
So I'm all for helping people, but if the blind guy contacts me, I think my answer is just no.
I would say let's see what his time was. Blindfolded.
Damn it.
I think he does it in maybe an hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half.
That is so impressive.
So yeah, it's a very cool event. A lot of fun to watch during the week, and definitely go check out their YouTube channel for all that cool stuff.
What do they raise money for again?
The one in the summer is for Doctors Without Borders. The one in the winter is Prevent Cancer Foundation. And they've raised the last two. They've raised over $2 million each, I think. So
That's pretty cool.
quite a bit of cash.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are my recommendations. The Mario games are always great to watch. Those are very impressive. Mario Odyssey was a good one. Yeah.
Mario Kart speedrunners are freaking crazy.
Yeah,
That's a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The world record for the Choco Mountain course right now is 17 seconds for all 3 laps.
Yeah, especially the 64 stuff, the way they could break through those is crazy.
Wait, 17? What?
Okay, so
What?
I'm gonna go do some YouTube.
You also look up. There's they do a few tool assisted ones, which is ones people program
Right.
a computer to do.
Oh,
And they do
okay.
some really cool stuff with that stuff.
Okay, no, it was 16.38 seconds. So
Yeah.
you were way off with 17.
Well, yeah, if you do the TAS block for any of the AGDQ ones,
That is so stupid.
Like they do Mario Kart 64 in like 2016, I think.
That's hilarious. I didn't know about that.
This guy is so enthusiastic.
Can you do that in a race against people?
No, the 16-second one, no. That was time trials where you get 3 mushrooms. That's the only
Okay.
way to
No,
do
but
it.
I'm saying if you got a mushroom in a race, could you?
Theoretically, yes.
Because it'd be a hilarious way to beat people.
So that's-
Just do one lap and get the mushrooms, and then
So
Yeah.
that's the kind of funny thing about the Taz stuff is they figured out like the exact frame to do something to get the item they need and do all this stuff. It's pretty crazy.
The 16.36-second one, though, is not a tool-assisted
Yeah,
speed
there's
run.
somebody doing it, yeah.
Which is even more impressive because the thing he does there, I forget what it's called. It's ridiculously hard to do even once.
which one is it?
The 16.36-second one, I'm saying the thing he does there, I forget what the technique is called, but it's really, really hard to do sequentially. That run only happened after he spent, like, days attempting it.
That Chaco Mountain one?
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Wow, you to try that for days? I bet you, if you did it for days, you probably couldn't. I'm gonna say.
I say, all right, time to prove it.
Wait, I think
You made it look.
I know that's a problem.
That's always the problem.
It took over 20,000 tries to get that done.
I think the worst part would be like even if I could get all 3, like can you speed it up enough to beat his record? Or...
Right.
Probably
Oh,
not.
He's so happy.
To me, it looks like there's a lot of space where you could fall closer to the finish line.
Right? I'm seeing some room for error here.
Another cool one. Now that I'm thinking about it, is the Dragon Quest one from the last AGDQ. Because mostly just the description of of how they figured it out. Because he beats Dragon Quest in 27.
27. Okay.
And that's a reduction for I think the previous record used to be like 5 hours or something. And
What?
it's a really cool kind of explanation and stuff. So that's a great one.
Does he get?
Is it Dragon Quest 3?
Dragon Warrior.
They did Dragon Quest 3 this time, but this was Dragon Warrior. I guess Dragon Warrior. Sorry. By NES Cardinality for AGDQ 2018.
What was their projected speed run time for it?
Well, they always give like an estimate, but that's a pretty rough.
That's what I. Do they talk about it before the speed run, or
They talk about it like a little bit, but then they talk about it as they're doing it.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it later while we're not streaming.
Say, do we want to wrap up? Valen, it looks like we've got a new Rocket League player.
Wait, what?
White Nova.
Cool. I hate that game too.
Tom would not want to play that. Are you saying, or do we want to play? I would play.
I'm probably out tonight, but I do want to play some this week for sure if we've got a...
Well, are you going to be MIA for the next
MIA for
3 weeks?
What?
Yeah, we're going to have to do a couple podcasts without Valen because he's going to be MIA for quite some time.
All right, well, I guess we should wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, let's questions. We actually have a human being in chat this time. So White Nova, hit us with your questions.
Okay, question 1 was when we playing Rocket League. Question 2 was who else was disappointed by the It movie. And I don't watch scary movies, so I can't help with the second one.
I did not see that either.
I really liked the It movie.
All right.
The remake of it?
The remake. I haven't seen the
I
original.
haven't seen
because
the original, so
from what I understand, the original I would be very disappointed by.
Interesting. Dang.
Or is this an IT movie because you capitalized?
Oh, that's a good point.
I would go see a movie about IT.
I wouldn't.
I love
I support you
information
guys.
technology.
Okay. Well, I hope those answers were helpful. Valen, take us out.
Well, guys, I'd like to thank Tommy Tom for the surprise stop by, especially because it tested Doc's framing capabilities. Thank Light Nova for being the first human we've had chat.
Very much.
Several episodes.
Always great to have humans.
Thank Junkblade for the riveting rundown of the Darkest Dungeon lore. And I'd like to thank myself for carrying this podcast as usual. So, see you guys. I guess I will be here, but Doc and Junkblade will hit you next week.
Keep on trucking.
Maybe I'll do some fill-ins for.
You should.
You should.
I'm out next week, but somebody will also have to remind me.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will look at logistics sometime.
And on that note,
Until next time.
So